I get a platform. If I talk on IG, they're gonna be like, yeah, Emilani, we're gonna block you here also, we're gonna ban you here also. No one wants to listen. And what are you doing about that here?
Mama.
Being an influencer is all fun and games until it's not. I don't know if you realize that a lot of our influencers don't even want to create content anymore or post online, simply because being in the public eye does not come cheap. Now, portraying a life that they don't actually live online is very common in this industry, right? And in the same breath, they tend to think that their lives are interesting enough that people want to actually watch. And it's not always the case.
My private parts were all over social media, but people were throwing things at me. You hear me? While I'm performing. Like I was a joke. Like I was just a joke. So from that, I was just like, okay, why do I have to care? This is really about me and me alone. And in such a sensitive situation, I feel like, that's how I convince the people close to me to say, no, I've been through this, so I can handle it, But people have.
Hi and welcome back to the channel. Come closer, class is in session. Now today I'll be talking about the sad realities of being an online star. Now let's get into it, right? I've divided this video into 4 parts because I'm trying to make sense of everything. The first part, the sad realities of being an influencer, right? I'll be focusing on trending as well as followers. Now let's get into it. With trending, right? Imagine this, waking up and trending with a sex tape that's been leaked of you and someone that you trusted, someone that you're having fun with. This is the sad reality of Cyan Bougie. This was, I think, a year ago or 2 years ago. She literally woke up to a sex tape all over South Africa and social media. How do you recover from this? What do you say to your parents, your family, your friends, your co-workers, everyone that knows you? How do you continue with life? Right? I mean, and you could be sitting there and saying, but Mpho, she's an adult and she made this decision. She was only 19 at the time, and allegedly this famous DJ told her that, no, I'm just taking this for fun because I do this with other girls. So she probably thought he wouldn't post because he's famous. Little did she know that he's going to post this and it tried to ruin her career or her life in general. And the fact that Cyan Bougie recovered from this, I applaud her, because a lot of people can't survive such things. And guys, we need to be careful. In this society, taking such content can be very dangerous because it can be used against you as blackmail. I think he was blackmailing her. She don't want to go into detail, but I think he was asking her to do something and she didn't want to. And also they can use this as revenge, right? Whereby you'll constantly be under pressure and depressed simply because someone has your nudes or naked videos of you, right? And then the second point I'm going to talk about is how followers and subscribers tend to be very mean to our influencers, right? With that said, I mean, a lot of our influencers are starting to see that followers don't really engage in their content. They don't like their pictures. They don't watch their videos. And as an influencer, this is your nightmare. This is your worst nightmare because you need people to watch your things. You need people to engage and like your content because you can get opportunities through this. But lately, subscribers, followers have been just deciding to not engage at all. And it is difficult for influencers. Now, the second part of this video, I'm going to talk about how influencers are taken advantage of or they're taken for granted. Right now, a perfect example of this is the story that was trending in the week, right, of a fake influencer brand manager, right, that scammed over 10 plus influencers. And his excuse was because of his adoption wound, this led to him doing these criminal activities and behavior. Like, I don't understand. Excuse me, my guy. We all have trauma and we all have past experiences, but that does not mean you go out in society and being a shitty person and doing shitty things. Why would you want to scam influencers that are trying to make it in this industry or go into this industry? It's not funny. And his video went viral. He was trending. I saw him speak on Madam Speaker's podcast, Enjoy Your Life. Sims Wright spoke about him, and other TikTokers were like, they survived this fake scammer, you know? So in this industry, you need to be very careful. Because you're desperate for opportunities and work, you might be paying these brand managers thinking you're going to get gigs, and they can use you and run away with your money. And then the second point I want to touch on is how a lot of girls tend to be taken advantage of, right? Or they tend to sleep their way up, you know? Just because you are seeking opportunity, you want to look like the next Mehlali, you want to live like K-Arms, but you don't know that people are out there to get you and ruin your life, right? And then the third point I want to talk about is the consequences of being an influencer, right? Now, this one is a bit hectic. I remember last year, our influencers were advertising and promoting this training program in Russia, right? Cyan Bougie did it, Sima did it, and many others. Little did they know that behind the scenes, this is not legitimate and it's actually a human trafficking program. And a lot of subscribers, followers reported their accounts and saying it was poor of them not to make the research and understand what the program was about because they're just chasing money. With that said, they lost a lot of followers, right? They lost a lot of followers. They got cancelled. Their accounts on TikTok were deleted or was deleted, you know. Cyan's account was deleted. Seema's account was deleted. Hence, she was crying in the first clip that I played, saying that she lost brand deals, she lost contracts, she lost work and opportunities simply because she made a mistake and she decided to work with this brand or this program that she wasn't aware that they're doing dirty work behind the scenes, right? And then the last thing I want to talk about is what influencing really does to you. Now, when you start off as an influencer, you're excited, you're happy, you want to share your life, your ideas, your thoughts, your relationships, and everything, right? Until it gets to become a problem whereby your followers, subscribers, and other people start having negative comments, commenting badly on you, watching your every move, making decisions or opinions or forming opinions about your life and the things you do. So what this does is that our influences quickly gut up, right? And they stop oversharing and they just become cold, right? And there are 3 influencers that feel this way, and I can tell. K-Ams is definitely one of them. Chloe is definitely one of them, and definitely I'm noticing Cyan Bougie, right? She doesn't post like she used to post. She doesn't open up the way she used to open up, simply because now subscribers and followers tend to become very mean. The comment section is the devil's playground, and a lot of our influencers can't take it anymore. They find that it's extremely disrespectful and unfair, as much as they put themselves out there. But guys, let's be honest, we are very mean in the comment sections, and this becomes difficult for them to be creative and try to open up to their followers and subscribers. With that said, tell me what you think about what I just said, right? Do you think that there is a sad reality to being an online star? And what do you think we need to do in order to become better subscribers and followers? Because let me be honest with you, influencing is fun until it's not fun, right? I can see with my channel, there are some comments I'm like, but that wasn't my intention, but you saying this. So I think with our influencers, they also make those type of moves thinking, oh, I'm just having fun, but forget that you might offend someone, right? And a perfect example of this is how our influencers are constantly apologizing. I remember Mehlali fighting with her ex-boyfriend, and she was on a live, and she was like, by the way, you're an after 9. She just said that jokingly. But guess what? She had to come forward and release an apology to the LGBTQ plus community because some members felt offended and felt like Mehlali was just wrong for saying that. So it's those little things that you can do privately with your friends, but when they do it on these public platforms, it offends people. It becomes extremely difficult for them to open up and be themselves authentically because you might just offend someone. With that said, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And do follow me on my social media platforms. It's at @impo_liputi. Bye, guys.